Welcome to our channel. Don't forget to like, to share, and also to give us your thumbs up. Expect electoral reforms before 2027 general election. Who said this? INEC chairman tells Nigerians. Professor Mahmood Yakubu, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has told Nigerians to expect electoral reforms before the 2027 general elections. The INEC chairman, who disclosed this at the presidential villa on Tuesday, explained that the commission has reviewed the 2023 general elections with relevant stakeholders. He stated that 8 out of the 142 recommendations from the reviews require electoral amendments. Yakubu, who disclosed that he came to the State House for the inauguration of the two INEC national commissioners from Northwest and Southeast, said the Electoral Commission now has a full complement and commissioners as required by the law. While also reacting to the rumors of his removal, Yakubu noted that he still remains the chairman chief electoral officer for the country. He added, the National Assembly is going to organize the public hearing, and it is after the public hearing that a new bill will be submitted to the president for assent. So, we are working with the National Assembly on electoral reform, but I am not going to give more details. You will hear from the National Assembly, but we will review the 2023 general elections on our own. We engaged with the stakeholders and came up with 142 recommendations, out of which 8 require constitutional or electoral act amendment. And we discussed this with the National Assembly. We will have the same necessary amendment done to the Electoral Act ahead of the 2027 general election. Well, these are the submission of the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu. Some few things are in there which we will need to pick out to discuss. Number one, Nigerians should be wary of unnecessary rumor that the chairman of INEC has been removed when there are no official reports gathered, even from the state house or from wherever, probably from government. Let's put it that way. We should stop all this unnecessary propaganda and rumor mongering and the likes. Our polity is such that it is already bastardized and destroyed. We shouldn't keep adding salt into injury in this nation. The man is quiet now. Since he doesn't have anything, as it were, in quote now, to do generally that's going to involve him, coming to the public for people to see him. But then, of course, if there are stagger election here and there, it's not his job to get it done. There are commissioners in states, commissioner for geopolitical zones that can handle the matter. But he, as the chief electoral officer of the nation, is sitting at the helms of affairs and quietly doing his job. And what some people would love to say is the fact that, he has been booted out, is no more, in power. It's wrong. Nigerians should desist from that, especially politicians journalists who loves to bring sensational news, and then they get money from politicians to, begin to publish what ought not to be. We should desist from that. That's number one. Then number two, of course, this man spoke out that there is need for electoral reform. It's expected. For every election, that is how you see a man or a person who is improving and succeeding in life. If we have done something in 2023, and then there are a lot of comments over it and a lot of controversies, some accepted it, some did not. Eventually, after 2 years, we begin to see some reality that some are begin to even confess and say, look, we lost that election. That's the reality. And whether right or wrong, the body in question, the electoral umpire, supposed to go back and sit down and do our own work. For example, when it was currently that INEC has refused to, recognize any particular chairman from Labour Party, it's a laudable move. In fact, INEC is commended there so that that party will not drag that electoral body into the shenanigans and the quagmire that is going on in their party. When they are done, they settle their home, they can come out and present with a united front or a singular voice that this is where we stand, this is our chairman, and these are our escorts. But when the feud is still going on, they don't expect INEC to quickly, speak INEC cannot afford to be presumptuous. And the same way too, it's expected that as INEC is taking all these steps, they have to take it towards different recommendations that came after the 2023 election. Many international observers came and they expressed their own view about the election, and also in local observers too, and those who even participate in the election. And I think INEC need to look at some of the loopholes, some of the errors and the mistakes that were made during the 2023 election and improve on them. It's a good move in the right direction. For example, they said they have about 142 recommendations, out of which 8 will require constitutional or electoral act amendment. Now, of the 142 now, for the INEC to come out to tell us that's the right thing to do. The whole populace need to be informed, and then those who are different quotas that specifically has much to do with some of these recommendations, they should also be called in order to contribute their own bit so as to have a standardized reformed. And by the time election is coming in 2027, some of the mistakes, even if not all, that were made in 2023 will have been improved upon and corrected. So it is necessary. While INEC is trying to cross all T's and dot all I's and preparing towards 2027 election, this amendment, this recommendation, reforms are very, very vital. And we also want to tell the National Assembly as regards this, that they shouldn't, behave as politicians now. They should behave as Nigerians representing us without sentiment or bias. Let them look at these 8, recommendations that requires constitutional or electoral act amendment, and let them objectively attend to it. If what INEC has brought in is objective enough without any sentiment, of course it should have a safe passage. But peradventure, if there is sentiment even with the assembly, well, I hope we are not going to have a problem there, because some of the recommendations I want to believe might not necessarily be favorable to politicians, because INEC is supposed to bring policies that will gear our nation towards more transparency, such that they are going to completely eradicate tendency or thoughts of rigging at all, not to talk of the act of rigging, such that at the end of 2027 election, we will be able to say, look, INEC has done her part, and that is the mandate of the people, and that's what we are going to see as the outcome. So this is necessary at this very point in time, and I know the chairman of INEC has promised to work hand in hand with the House of Assembly, believing that everything will be properly done, because they said they are going to organize a public hearing, of course, with the National Assembly. We are waiting so as to see some of the recommendation, and we love that to move the election of Nigeria to a higher level. Remember to come to our station, to keep visiting here, and then of course subscribe, and don't forget to like and share.